welcome to Becky's House of Sewing. I'm Becky, this is my house of sewing, and we're here to talk about all things thread and needle, mostly quilting and cross-stitching and quilting, but you never want to rule anything out, because that's the minute you want to start doing a new craft. You know what I'm saying? I meant to look something up, so let me look something up. Join me as I look something up, won't you? It is Wednesday, May 1st. Happy May Day, everybody. I can't believe we got here so quickly. I was looking up how many subscribers I have. I have 471. When I get to 500, I have something for you. I have created a new bag. Special for a giveaway. And let's see, on the inside, I believe I did the blue. Look at my cute little taggy. So this charm pack came from QuiltCon. So, and I forget, I'm pretty sure it's a Moda, and I don't know the name of the line. And I think it had something to do with food though, because it's got like donuts and sodas and that kind of fun stuff. So, one of you lucky ladies and gentlemen could win this, and when we have a giveaway at 500, I'll give that away. Yay! I did a live recently, and just because my channel is so small, well, first of all, it was my first one, so who the heck knows what I was doing. But I think just due to the size of my channel, I don't think it gets broadcast right away. I don't know the ins and outs. I think I'll do another one because it was kind of fun just to kind of hang out and stitch. But again, I don't know when. I don't have anything scheduled or planned. It was very spontaneous when I did it the last time, so we'll see. But I don't think it'll be my last one. The other thing is, it's cicada season, and for the last week and a half, it has sounded like God turned on the white noise machine. I mean, it's not, to me, it's not annoying. It's actually kind of cool and exciting that nature's doing its thing, similar to the solar eclipse. It's just kind of cool that what science and nature does. It's just cool. And the bugs are so ugly, they're cute. And they so remind me of, you know, like the butterfly displays and how people would display the different insects and beetles and bugs. For some reason, I think they're cool like that. And even their shells. Now, I will say, they're around and they look like hummingbirds when they're flying about. They're not small. But they are not so prevalent that like I have to watch where I'm walking, or I'm going to be stepping on some of them, or, you know, so they're, to me, it's a pleasant volume of cicadas. It's kind of neat to see them flying around the neighborhood, the backyard, and I've enjoyed sitting outside listening to them. I might be weird, and I apologize if that creeps you out, but I think it's kind of cool. Here's a couple of pictures. Let's see if I can pull it up real quick. That I just took of some cicadas. Look at that. Look at that beady-eyed. Oh, sorry. Glare. Look at that beady-eyed, red-eyed, winged thing. Here's another one. Those red eyes. Don't they look alien? Just cool. So, again, it sounds like white noise machine outside my house, which I'm not mad at. I just think it's kind of cool. And it could last a month. I think right now the big cicada is the 17-year one and the annual one. So we have like triple the amount of cicadas that we usually have. So, yeah. The birds are happy. They're getting a tasty snack. I hear some dogs like them too. But I've not eaten any. I just play with them and look for their shells because they're all like underneath the leaves and the trees. And nerd alert. Sorry. Let's talk about stitching, shall we? I am in my sewing room, which has in recent topic been a mess. My halo quilt that I still have not sandwiched yet because I have not had room. I really needed to like clean house so that I can do the next stage of this quilt. Because it was all fussy cutted, meaning that I took little tiny weird sections out of fabric instead of just cutting big sections. So I have fabric everywhere. And just in general, I have not listened to my mother and just spent the last 10 minutes of whatever project I'm doing and clean up so that it's ready for me to walk in and start sewing the next time. I haven't set future Becky up for success in that way. It's been easier just to close the door behind me. I know I'm not alone in this, right? I mean, everybody raise their hand from time to time. Anyway, I decided and announced in my last video that I was going to take part in the Just Get It Done challenge. Just Get It Done Quilts is a great channel if you're a quilter. Karen, and she's in Canada, she has a lot of cool playlists, and one of the things that she's done, I think for the last 4 or 5 years, is every January 1st declutter the sewing room or sewing studio or sewing area or the entire house, as it may be. And so she has different steps and small stages to spend 30 minutes a day, and it's a 21-day series. I am not doing it consecutively. Well, I'm doing the prompts sequentially, but I'm not doing it every day. But I have made a lot of progress, so I'm very pleased with how things are. I've actually see a lot of floor. And I have vacuumed. I know. So it's been very fun. I think the important things are, if you're like me and you come from a long historic line of crafters, and not just one craft, but all the crafts, because if there's a cool tool, we need to do it. Or if there are lots of supplies to buy, we need to do it. I have a lot of stuff, and it's not even all the stuff. Mom was just saying on Wednesday Citrus, because today's Wednesday, we were meeting on our Zoom chat, that for not having cross-stitched for a couple of decades in there, she still has a lot of stuff, and she's given a lot away. So I come from a long line of maximalists, and we're okay with that. But everything does need to have a place. You do need to feel not overwhelmed by your sewing area, and like you're in control of it. To me, like, if you, however you want to do your stitching or your crafting is a personal preference. Some people like to track it. Some people like to have a plan. I like to go with the flow, do what I want, because I'm the boss. I'm the boss. So, I am making progress. I am not completed, but I'm in a really good place, and am enjoying my room. Makes me want to come in here and sit down and sew, which is the whole goal. With that said, this is one of the projects I made when I wanted to reward myself and get this finished. So I made that for you guys, one of you guys. And again, we have like 20, well, that's a lot of math, 29. You have 29 more subscribers before we can give that away. And then, as you may know if you're a repeat follower, I really love Kate at the Last Homely House. really love that channel. And she now has 2 channels, one for her garden and one for her sewing. And she did what she lovingly calls the terry quilt, and she's just finished, I think she bound it already. I think she still plans to do some hand quilting on it after it's bound, but it's quilted enough to get it bound and be done with the project for a little bit. And Terry Rowland, I believe, is also a Canadian, and she has a great channel as well. And she has a scrap buster block that she likes to do that's basically a square and a square. And she's got a couple great videos to view to get started if you're wanting to. But as I have been reducing the architectural dig that was the Halo quilt fabric, I have pulled out some scraps. Let me show you this little basket of scrappy scraps that don't fit the sizes that I use for I follow Lori Holt's scrap organization to a certain degree. So I have 2.5, 3.5, 5, 7, 1.5, and scraps. So again, these came from my immediate architectural dig. I have another ginormous bag or box of scraps because something like this kind of hurts my heart to throw it away. I don't know why, but I could make something with that. I could glue it down and make a card. I could do so many things. So I've been I did a little cutting after my last round of cleaning house, and then I sat down and made a couple blocks. So I thought I would show you. I should probably put them on a board, right? So Terry uses, Terry was using 3.5 blocks, but you really can make this any size you want. And so let me just lay these out. I should have thought about this ahead of time. My bad. My bad. And you don't have to make the outside the same material. You can make it as scrappy as you want. But these are the ones I did recently. Aren't they cute? So I'm doing 4.5-inch blocks because I have a 4.5-inch ruler to trim it up to size. So that's why I chose that. And I have some more of these somewhere that I can just add these blocks to. But it's, you know, a little wabi-sabi. It's, you know, making these different sizes, and then you flip-flop them around so that you don't have bulky seams everywhere. And it's really fun. So I did a little bit of those as a reward for being a good girl and doing my chores. So two projects worked on. And then I did some stitching, some cross stitching. So, well, actually, let me share this with you. So one of the recent steps was going through your magazines, and then the next one was going through your books and patterns. And I have a nice selection. I don't have a bazillion of them, but I was able to kind of, I had at one point done Love Quilting and Patchwork from the UK magazine. I did that 5-6 years ago, and I kept the magazines because I liked them, and I felt like I had a collection, but I never reopened them. So I went ahead and disposed of that, got rid of, I don't think I got rid of anything else, but I did bring some things aside for donations for my quilt guild and stuff like that. And then I found cross-stitch patterns that I was kind of looking for. There's still one that is somewhere. I forget the designer's name, but the series is Chubby Bunny, Chubby Bird. I have the Chubby Bird, and I know it's somewhere. I can't find it. But I did find this cardinal one. Sorry, the glare. this red bird cardinal. I got this at a Tennessee shop. It came with the pre-made Ada material, but the thought of trying, it was mostly stitched up, so I'd have to finagle how to stitch it, and I was like, I don't have time for that. I don't have time for that. So I'll just stitch it and sew it up myself. So I found that, thought that would be fun. And let me just take this one out since there's a glare issue. It's about noon, 1 o'clock or so, so it's still nice and bright outside, but it hasn't hit this side of the house yet. So then I have goat load. I want to make that for a friend of mine that has goats. So I found those two things. It's kind of like haul. Oh, finding things. I'll put that aside. Put that away when I'm done. Alright, so what have I worked on lately? Well, I got out my Valdani threads and stitched on them. Somebody had asked me about it recently, and I was like, oh, I didn't stitch on that in a while. I should stitch on that. Because I just kind of had a little tiny start and then put it away in my cute bag. I'll show you the bag in a minute. This is Flowers of Quaker by Rosewood Manor. And it uses, the reason why I bought it was the threads, because it came in this adorable little box. Like, hello, don't choose Lenny. They're so pretty. I love Valdani threads. And I had made this as a commemorative one for me. You can't see this as well, but there's a B initial here and then a 5-0. Because it's my birthday year. I turned 50 in July. So this is, I just had a little bit, I had a little bit of this, and I just did a little bit more. Aren't they pretty? It's all really variegated threads. So they really have different looks to them as you stitch them, each flower. So that I did a little bit of. Aren't you proud of me? I'm proud of me. And then I turned my eyes back to my true love of Peacock, a Unicorn, a Badger, which, if you are unfamiliar, and I doubt you are because, you know, I have loyal subscribers. This is, what is this? This is the chart. This is what it will look like. It's full coverage, all cross stitches except for the water that is a satin stitch. Easy peasy. This is unironed, so enjoy that. See if I can not make a mess with all this stuff here. I love that I'm just like right in front of my design boards, so I can just pull them out. So I have a parked thread here because I'll get to the deer here shortly. I want to straighten it up. And I'm on the last page of the second row. Isn't it? Oh, hold on. Hold on. We can do better, people. We can do better. Hold, please. Do 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 do. I won't be much longer, I promise. The anticipation, I know, is killing you. Alright. There we go. Do, 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 do. So the outline is over here, that I'm working on. And as you can see, I started filling in the little leaves. And if you follow me on Instagram, you know I've done most of this outlining in the last day or two. And I only have one more little outline. There's a flower down here, which I'll outline when I get further down, more things filled in. Everything is in the right place. except for that sweet, sweet bird. I feel like everything on this page I've loved it so much. I've done it multiple times. I'll have an error and have to rip it out, and have an error and rip it out. So the bird, I noticed as I was doing the leaves, at some point I got one thread left to right off. No, I'm not taking it out. Now the bird does have some legs going down to the leaves, and I think that's where I'll fudge it, and then I'll just make the green, fudge the green where I need to fudge it. But it's not affecting, from what I can tell, everything else is in line. And top to bottom it's lined up, so it's not terribly off. And once it's all stitched, nobody's gonna notice. But when I discovered it, did have to pout for about 5 minutes. Couldn't take it. Like, but I pulled on my big girl panties and kept on stitching. So that's where I'm at. Isn't it pretty? So of course I'll start working on the green once I get all the way across. But I might not be able to contain myself that much because the next row starts the top of the, it ends with the top of the water. So, and it's the unicorn as well. So I may just keep outlining. Who knows? Who knows what I'll do? But I really do. It's a great stitch. No matter how you decide to stitch it, I know some people are getting green fabric and not doing the green. Some people, I think it would be really pretty not to do any of the background and just kind of leave it open. Because I mean, the motifs really do fade into the background a little bit once you get them stitched with the green around. But it is very much, if you like to color or play with colored pencils or markers or draw, it's very much like you fill it in and then you color it in. It's a lot of fun. But today is May 1st, and there's a couple Flosstubers, and I don't remember who they are at this point. I really apologize. But they, you know, May, for cross stitchers, there's several little fun things to follow. There's Mania, where people want to start a lot of things. There's Mira May for the people that like mirabilias. And then somebody along the line that I was watching talked about Manning May. That's something I can get behind. Carolyn Manning has some really cool full coverage things. I'm getting the chart out. I use GoodNotes, and I now cannot live without it. I have all Apple products, so Pattern Keeper doesn't work for me, and I don't feel the need to track my progress per se, but I do really like being able to expand the chart as wide as I can, and really see the section I'm working on and on a clear big screen. It's very helpful to me, and I use my iPad that I'm actually videoing on now, and it's on like a big stand, so it's almost like a monitor as I'm watching TV, and it's just easy to glance over and that kind of stuff. I don't have to have one more piece to finagle. Let me see if I can make this a little smaller. So this is a section of 4 pieces by Carolyn Manning, and I have another chart of hers that I've started, but I have not enjoyed as much as this one. So this is, I really like her designs that are like this, that have like a little pocket of solid color, and then you change color, and then, but the pattern's real easy to memorize. So you're not always looking at the chart and everything's symmetrical. These are 84 by 84, and I'm gonna do them. Ooh, no, I'm marking up stuff. Hold on. I'm gonna erase. I'm going to do it just like this, where they're all in one piece, because I like the big ones. What can I say? So I had this in my bag that I made recently to go down to my friend's funeral. It holds a couple different projects. I have an EPP project over here. Then I have supplies and stuff in here. And then I have this in here. I had at one point, I also brought my peacock and a unicorn so that I could do some green on it. You know, stuff I didn't have to necessarily think about or follow a chart. Now, I didn't get much done on this when I went down to Orlando, but I did work on it today in honor of Manning May, and I got that much done. I had just started the, like, one leg of the top row, and I was crossing every 10th X to mark 10, because I had to get to 84, and I can't remember. I don't know what it is about stitching, but mid-stitch I forget what count I'm on. So in lieu of having to recount 80 a million times, I just did 10s. And then I realized the fabric that I have, which is 40 count platinum, great material to work with. I allotted, the design will come out to be about 8.5 inches wide, so I cut it to about 14 by 14, and thought that I was giving myself 2 inches, but I started at 3 inches, which is a little too short on one side. So I didn't pull out the top, and I discovered it when I was doing that first row. So what I did when I got to 70, instead of going further, I just went back and then did the 13 stitches on the left hand side, which makes it about 2.5. I've calculated multiple times. I will still have at least 2 inches on the bottom, so if it's a little askew, it's not a big deal. So I've dodged a bullet on that. So that are my whips. Those are my whips. And what I've been playing around with as I've been putzing around my my sewing room. And as I put this away, let's talk about what to do next. So, couple things on my mind. I don't have specific plans. I just have a list of things I'd like to do, and whatever suits my fancy at the time is what I'll do. I need, because I bought Caroline's birthday sal from Evertote, the box with the Artsy Housewife and Roxy Floss Co. I bought that set. So in anticipating that coming, I would like to make myself a project bag. Or I feel like I need to make myself like 3 project bags, because I have that animal cracker bobbin. I still have his the little scissor fob thing to make, and I'd like to do that goat load, and there's a couple other things I think I want to do, and especially in celebrating for my birthday, to prep that I have multiple things to do. I still have the Stitch in Time Saves 9 pattern from Hands Across the Sea. That's all kitted up in a bag already, but I might want to change it up. So I feel like I need to make some project bags, again, for moi. And I also kind of intend, my husband goes to Germany quite a bit for work and play, but he always goes shopping for candy, and when he does, he brings home these bags. Wouldn't that be a cool project bag? So I have one kind of chopped up, and I need to play around with that and I need to open that one up and play around with it too and make it part of a project bag. And you know, I just have some ideas for project bags. So I need to do that as I continue to reward myself for cleaning up. I definitely want to get my Halo quilt sandwiched, and I'm almost to the point where I can use my cutting table, which is what the whole point of me having this nice big cutting table is, so that I could also wheel it out and pin baste my quilts. So that's on the docket, that's on the plans, and just kind of keep stitching. Work is going pretty good. I'm at a point where I've been procrastinating. I need to snap out of it so that I can make my goal. It's the beginning of the month, and so now I just feel like the machine needs to turn back on. So I need to get going back on. And yeah, that's kind of about it. My husband's almost done with his mother's apartment because she has moved, and so we've almost got that ready to turn over, which is exciting. One less thing to do. Now all the things that are at our house that are special or we need more time to go through and we might want to sell but we're not sure, you know, all those things. We need to go through those, bring back a little order in our house. I'm glad I have my work area, and my sewing room is really bringing me a lot of joy right now. So both of them are set up really nicely, and that's all good things so that I can have a place to hide. And I think that's about all. Mother's Day is coming up. Plan to go up and see my mama, do some stitching maybe, or anything else that comes to mind. And that's about it. So I think I'll leave you guys with that. Look at my little donut. This is how I have my bobbins. Right by my sewing machine so I can change colors. And a lot of people like to sew with like dove gray because they feel like it blends in with everything. And I feel like if you have the right weight of thread, you really don't see the threads and the seams anyway. So why not do a happy color? So I have a lot of like, I do a pale yellow, I do a pale green, I have a pretty brown. I don't really do like a black or something. It's usually like more pastel-y color so that it doesn't feel stark through a fabric if it's a little thinner or a white, for example. Why be boring, right? That's my philosophy. Anyway, now I'm just babbling. So you guys have a very good couple weeks. I will see you soon, and I hope to connect with you in comments or on Instagram, and hopefully we can have some good stitchy time together in the future. Talk to you soon. Bye.